CTV Calgary, local breaking news.
Good afternoon. The province is providing more financial support for families with kids who have complex care needs prior to restarting negotiations with teachers next week. Students who have agreements with Family Support for Children with Disabilities, or FSCD, will get the support. Kids 12 and under get $30 per instructional day, while kids 13 and older get $60. Parents can apply through the online parent portal, which will open on alberta.ca on October 14th. Meantime, parents and childcare providers are cautiously optimistic. Many businesses in Calgary are hedging their bets by offering day camps through to the end of the month and beyond. A nationwide walkout by Canada Post workers will be replaced by rotating strikes starting tomorrow. The union representing striking postal workers says this will allow Canadians to get their mail while negotiators work toward collective agreements. This comes after Jobs Minister Patty Hajdu said the union and Crown Corporation have a responsibility to find a solution. The federal government is extending the Canada Strong Pass. The program means free admission for all visitors to national parks and historic sites. There's also a 25% discount on camping fees at national parks. And children, when accompanied by an adult, can ride for free on Via Rail. The cost savings will be in effect for the holiday season between December 12th and January 15th and for the summer of 2026. The Carney government also announcing today it will be automatically filing taxes for up to 5.5 million low-income Canadians. It will start in the 2026 tax year. The feds say it will help ensure Canadians receive the federal benefits they qualify for, such as the Canada Child Benefit and the GST HST credit. The Canadian economy added more jobs in September than expected. Stance Canada says employment rose by 60,000 jobs, or 0.3%. It's the first time the employment rate has increased since June. Nationally, the unemployment rate stayed steady at 7.1%. Here in Alberta, the unemployment rate is 7.8%, down from 8.4% in August. Farmers in Alberta say this is one of the best harvests they've had in years. Stats Canada says wheat production was up 12% this year, and barley and canola production were up 2%. It was an especially dry spring, followed by a wet July and then a dry September that enabled farmers to complete the harvest early.
We can't complain about the weather. In fact, that's been a bonus for quality across the province this year. Talking to a member up in Camrose area, and he said we were going to get done in the third week of September, and that never happens for us.
For the first time in years, Alberta farmers won't have to rely on crop insurance. Grizzly bears are showing up in parts of the prairies they haven't called home in more than a century. There are sightings and signs of dens in southern Alberta that researchers want to investigate to better understand what's driving the return. Terry Fikowski reports.
Clint Marr's family has been ranching cattle outside of Twin Butte for over 80 years. And while sharing the land with wildlife isn't new, the increasing number of grizzly bears is.
Although there was always bears here, there's now quite a few more, and they've now taken up residence.
He's lost cattle worth tens of thousands of dollars to grizzlies. A problem until the last few years was quite rare.
We've had bears come right into our corrals and kill calves there.
After a few close calls of his own, he now carries a gun and doesn't let his granddaughter roam the property the way he did growing up.
About every rancher in this area has run into a bear on a fence line fencing or when they're calving.
Researchers with the Carnivores and Communities program are in the early stages of a project looking to connect with landowners or anyone who suspects or has seen a den in southern Alberta. Historically, grizzlies roamed the prairies freely until early settlers pushed the populations out in the early 1900s. They're now predominantly in the mountains or foothills, but have been moving further east with more sightings, encounters, and reports of dens in the grasslands. Data for the region is more than a decade old, but experts say it likely points to a growing number of grizzlies in Alberta.
Over, again, these last couple decades, certainly the population has grown from what it was. And as that happens, bears are moving into new places.
And that's meant more encounters, including an August attack on a man near Cardston. The Ministry of Forestry and Parks introduced a targeted hunt for problem grizzly bears last year, but Todd Loewen says there are no plans to expand it or remove the 2006 ban on hunting.
There's a lot of worry, I think, in a lot of rural Alberta where these where the bears have expanded into where they haven't been traditionally. And so I think we have to keep our eye on that and make sure that Albertans are safe and feel safe.
Marr understands bears belong on the landscape too, but can't ignore ones that become a threat to his family and livelihood.
If you got a bad bear, you've got a bad bear. They need to be dealt with.
Terry Fikowski, CTV News in Twin Butte.
Landowners with a suspected den on or near their property, or anyone who may have come across one in southern Alberta, is encouraged to report it to the Carnivores and Communities program on the Waterton Biosphere website. You can learn more about the darker side of Calgary's past on ghost tours throughout October. Black-cloaked guides carrying lanterns lead guests on nighttime tours throughout historic Calgary buildings as they share tales about our ancestors and recent unexplained encounters. Chilling tales about one of Calgary's early pioneer families, a deadly train derailment, and a mysterious phenomenon in the bakery are part of Heritage Park's ghost tours this season.
Hook people in while you're telling them the stories and then scare them, but there's also the component of the history.
Heritage Park's fall ghost tours sell out fast, but it's offering several other spooky events this month, and it also offers ghost tours in the spring. Thanks for joining us. We'll have more on the top stories coming up on CTV News at 5 and 6 or anytime online at ctvnews.ca/Calgary.